Plausible Foolishness. I'm Matt. I've got opinions on stuff.
What's going on, guys? I'm Ray, and I've got opinions on things as well.
It's episode 37?
37?
37.
Holy crap. Are you ready to go, bro?
Oh, I'm so ready to go.
Is there a title for this episode,
There's
man?
a title.
What is
Today's title is Trick or Treat.
Oh my goodness. Is that in the budget?
Yes,
is that in the budget?
Yes, because it cost us nothing.
What? To do that? Oh my goodness. Well, I was going to use it as a way to, tell the modern day fairy tale, which we'll get to that here in a little bit. Really quick, you like that? That was a good transition right there. Modern day fairy tale. Hey, but thank you so much for the rubes that are supporting us, guys, keeping us going, keeping the lights on, and all that fun stuff like that. Thank you for the patience and all that good. We use it for really good causes, and because of the donations of our rubes, we were able to get a shout out from Owen Benjamin. Benjamin himself.
Yes, on his
said our name on his podcast.
Yeah.
How crazy is that?
If you're viewing us for the first time because of that shout out, thanks for coming.
Thank you so much,
Hope
man.
you enjoy the show.
Dude, we just gotta get Owen Benjamin on here, man.
That would be awesome.
You think he'd like us enough? Dude, I
don't know.
If I could get him on the show, you know what I'd want him to do? Is leftist fitness trainer. That would be the best. That's the funniest thing he does.
Yeah,
I think it's so...
leftist fitness 4.
Patriarchy. But no, I love it. I think it's great, man. Hey, make sure you're following us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, all the great places, but most importantly, YouTube, man. That's where we're really going to do the most damage. We're going to get our name out there and so on and so forth, man. We're blowing up faster than the universe right now. Literally, we had a really big post on Facebook the other day. We had like over 7,500 people that viewed that bad boy. So, man,
yeah.
we're getting there, man. We are chipping away. This is episode 37.
Yeah.
We're going to keep chipping away. I guarantee you, by episode 60, we're going to be blowing this place up, man. We're just going to blow. We're
guaranteed.
Guaranteed. It's a guaranteed. I am Joe Namath right now. By 60, we will be blown up.
All right.
And if it doesn't happen, we'll do 60 more until it happens. We will keep attacking this.
And then we're done. That's it.
Then we're done. No.
Then we'll just keep it going.
Bro, listen. Now, if you notice, Rubes, we're doing the show on Thursday, okay? Yesterday was Trick or Treat. We named the episode after it. It's okay. We have kids. I don't know if y'all know this. We got children, all right? Mm-hmm. We got some children. And we like to spend time with our children. We do a little, did you go trick-or-treating with the kiddos?
Oh, yeah.
Nice.
We walked around the neighborhood.
Nice.
And they had a blast.
Nice. A lot of candy?
Decent amount. Enough for them.
Gotcha.
We're not big candy.
What?
Yeah, we don't really let them eat that much candy.
Listen, carnivore guy. Are you judging me because I give my kid a sucker before you came over today?
Yes. I wasn't going to say anything.
Listen,
but
don't tell Charity. Don't tell Charity. I was holding Raven. Raven's my 7-month-old. I had a sucker. And, of course, as a dad, I was like, oh, wonder if she'd like some of this. And she sucked on the sucker.
Yeah.
And her little face just lit up. Her eyes lit up like the sun. She started licking her lips, so she got some sugar. Yeah. So it was me. It was Daddy's fault.
Here's the thing.
Okay.
I don't blame you for that. That's a little fun. You didn't give her a whole sucker and just let her. You gave her a taste. That's different.
After I gave her a bunch. No, I'm just kidding. I didn't give her any more. Yes.
That's different.
I got you. I feel you, man.
They get tastes.
Yeah, man. I'm just saying.
We're just not like, all right, just eat as much candy as you want and we'll deal with the consequences.
Now, here's the thing. Big question. Huge question. Before we get into trick or treat, I gotta know, man. What's your favorite Halloween candy? Do you like Halloween candy? If you liked it, I know you're not big on it. What's your favorite? What's the pinnacle Hollywood?
What do you define as a Halloween candy?
Dude, anything. When you were a kid?
So what's my favorite candy?
And it boom dropped into your bag. You were like, "Thank you, Jesus, not only for my salvation, but for this candy that's in my bag right now."
When I was a kid,
yeah,
probably Reese's peanut butter cup.
Amen, brother. Dude, Reese's
I like the themed shaped ones.
Oh, they're the best.
Well, yeah, because there's more sugar in the peanut butter.
Heck yeah. Bro, that was the pumpkin. The pumpkin Reese eggs are the best things ever. I can inhale an entire bag by myself. You probably can tell. I'm just saying, I can inhale that thing, man. I'm about that life.
But I think nowadays, actually,
what? It changed?
I like the York peppermint patties.
Oh, those are good. The texture alone is good.
Yeah, and
then the texture.
And you know how I'm an avid milk fan.
Yes.
Milk after eating something minty is the best milk that you can possibly
it's divine.
drink.
I got you. No, listen. As a kid, I loved candy corn. I was a candy corn person.
Candy corn's good. Yeah, I like candy corn.
As an adult, it's Reese Peanut Butter Cups, man. Those things are so good.
Why do Smarties still exist?
Great question. I asked the same question. Why do Peeps still exist?
I don't hate Peeps. I don't love them. I don't hate them. But, you know, I think Smarties and the little chalky Valentine's hearts, why do they...
That's a great question.
I mean, like, people buy them to give them, not to eat them.
Of course.
And nobody who receives them goes, I can't wait to eat all these Valentine's hearts.
Yeah, they
go in the garbage. It's weird. These things are being made and purchased to just end up in the garbage.
Yeah, I feel like that about Peeps and Laffy Taffy. Like, do you like Laffy Taffy?
Nah.
Like, that's the thing. Laffy Taffy is just like a chemical compound that we chew on. It's disgusting. Like, it's not chocolate. It's not peanut butter. It's not.
But like saltwater taffy, you wouldn't.
I mean,
you would say that they're different, right? Because they are.
Here's the problem.
I would imagine that they are.
The reason why I'm terrified of here, truth be told, the reason why I'm terrified of taffy is this. Okay, when I was growing up, we had a mall, this little hood mall, or not even hood. It's hillbilly. Okay, hillbilly little mall, and you know those taffy making machines they had like in the middle of the mall and stuff like that. Sure. I watched a fly into one of the taffies and see the taffy come over it,
freaking open
and I was like, done. I'm like, I'm never eating taffy. If this can happen
to flies.
Oh, like bro, but that's what I'm saying. Is like,
you were in hillbilly town.
Oh, bro, fly comes in the taffy, done.
Hey, that's just protein. Okay.
I mean, listen, I've swallowed a fly. I don't know why I swallowed the fly. I mean, perhaps I'll die. But the point is, sorry, how many times I've read that book to my girls so many times. But no, my point is, like, you know, taffy's just ruined for me, man. And Peeps, do Peeps taste good?
Yeah, well, it's marshmallow.
No,
yeah, they taste good.
No,
it is.
It's stale marshmallow, bro. It's not even good.
The bag of marshmallows for your hot cocoa are stale marshmallows.
Yeah, but bro, listen. Maybe I'm a marshmallow hater. I am. Like, I can only deal with them in s'mores. Just
really,
straight up with it. That's it.
And you have to have the graham cracker and the chocolate?
You got to.
I like the marshmallow. I kind of don't even want the chocolate and the graham cracker. I just want the toasted marshmallow.
The toasty marshmallow is not bad.
Okay.
All I'm saying is, any other context, I'm not a really big fan. Take that back. I do like them in hot cocoa.
Okay.
But we live in Florida.
What about on top of like your sweet potato casserole?
No.
No, really?
No.
Really?
Just give me that sweet potato. But I'm a sweet potato guy. I like sweet potatoes.
I mean, it caramelizes in the oven.
I got you.
It's delicious.
But Thanksgiving.
I like marshmallows. I can pop them.
You can pop them?
I can pop them all day.
No, I feel you, man. So speaking of popping, man, you know what I mean? Trump said some interesting things. He wants to pop something out of the Constitution.
Yeah.
That's
crazy. He wants to get rid of birthright citizenship.
What?
Yeah.
And
he claims he can do it by executive order, and I think that's...
a fallacy?
Yeah, I don't think that's accurate.
Yeah, I've never heard of an actual... So, correct my civics if I'm wrong, but executive order does not trump a constitutional right.
Yeah, I think... Okay, so... The question is, well, how does he think that he can do this?
Sure.
And apparently his legal counsel is saying, yeah, it's totally legit. Maybe what the executive order will be laying down is an interpretation of that.
Sure.
Yeah, of course, interpretation of the Constitution. I thought that was
the Supreme Court's.
But then at the same time,
but
the executive order
means action.
The executive branch,
executive order
enacts those laws.
Yeah, the executive order is not a sit around and think about it. Executive order is this needs to be acted upon.
Yeah.
Right?
So then it will eventually end up in the Supreme Court.
Yeah.
Which...
because he's the executive branch. He executes.
The question... Okay, so... obviously we don't know what's going on in his head. Now, of course, the left will tell you, yeah, he's an evil hate monger, and this is just more, evidence of his hatred for those south of the border.
Oh, right. What?
And it's like, oh my gosh.
It's the same tired argument.
Let's actually, talk about this.
Yeah.
Because, honestly, I don't know how to feel about it.
Yeah, that's a good question, man. So, this is all in context. So, for all your rubes that have not been paying attention to the cycle of news and so on and so forth. Because here's the deal. I'll be straight up with you. I just started a new position. I'm doing a new job. All that fun stuff, man. I'm around a bunch of sweaty dudes all the time now. So it's a lot of fun, man. But I don't have as much time to consume.
I don't know if you wanted to mention that on the internet.
What are you talking about?
That you're around a bunch of sweaty dudes all the time.
Why, man? it gives my wife security. I'm not around a bunch of like hot chicks or something like that. I'm around a bunch of sweaty dudes.
You don't have any feelings for them.
Yes, I'm protecting myself. I am Josephing myself from no, I'm just kidding. But anyways, my point is this: I don't have as much time to consume as much media as I normally do. Does that make sense? So for the rubes that are that got like jobs that don't have enough time to look at this stuff, there's a caravan coming. I don't know if you heard about this. Started in where? Honduras?
Two caravans.
There's two now. There's two. Soros funded two of them. Anyways, what did I say? Conspiracy. Anyways, my point is, we gotta get when we get blown up.
Oh yeah.
The X-File soundboard right there.
I want to get that little box with the buttons, and we can just.
Dude, and when it comes up, can we get like the all-seeing eye that just pop up for a second?
I mean, you can make those things. Yes, that is possible.
It's plausible and it's full. It's all done. Now here's the deal, just like the show. Anyways, my point is this: there's a caravan coming, man. So. I don't know how to feel about this either, okay? There's a large group of people that are claiming asylum. Now, what asylum typically means is, my country sucks, so I'm just going to go to the bordering country for asylum to escape something.
Well, actually, we can be even more specific.
Sure.
It really means, personally, my life is in danger.
In this country.
And not because, it's kind of a rough place to live.
Yeah.
And... it can be
MS-13's coming to kill you,
or I'm poor, but legitimately, I have proof that MS-13 is coming to kill me if I stay where I am and you don't protect me.
It's like Russians during the Soviet Union. They would jump, they would defect, they would go to asylum of the bordering country.
I used to be in the military or whatever. I'm defecting.
Yes,
and they will kill me if I don't.
Yes,
Okay,
so that's what asylum seekers are. Now, Honduras, geography lesson. Is not a bordering country of America. Now, I know that's not taught here in the state of Florida, but everywhere else. Sorry, I'm this in Florida. I got. But here's the deal: Honduras is in Central America. Okay, below Mexico and below a couple other countries, right? So they went from Honduras, and then they went through Guatemala, or was it Guatemala they went through to get up here?
I don't know.
I have no terrible geography lesson.
I could draw the continent, but I couldn't tell you what.
Long story short, these people that originated in Honduras didn't go to the next country just to seek asylum for safety. They blew past it and blew past the security that was there and bum rushed the border of Mexico. And they are currently moving through Mexico on their way to the United States. Now, they're not going to Canada.
No.
They're not going to Alaska. They're coming for that California, Texas border. That's where they're coming. They are coming for the border. They're running to America. Now, if you're truly an asylum seeker, you just go to the next country for protection and safety and so on and so forth. But the reality is, they're coming to America. Gee, I wonder why. And to be honest with you, now that President Trump is popping the question about the 14th Amendment, about birthright citizenship, because a lot of these guys come under the false pretense and the notion that's been read into the law for the longest time that if you get to America and pop out a baby, so you get pregnant, you got 9 months to get to America, right? You get to America, you squeeze out a puppy. Sorry for the sorry, just trying to keep it kosher here. But you pop out a puppy. That kid has asylum seeking. And then remember what the original beef, the original start of Trump, the Trump movement was anchor babies. Remember go to anchor babies? Then they make some anchor babies. So that kid's a citizen, so, well, you can't kick me out. My kid's here, he's a citizen, blah, 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 blah. So a lot of discussion is floating around this idea of the 14th Amendment is do you have birthright citizenship? Or do you have, what does that actually mean in the law? What does that mean?
And in the amendment, it talks about the jurisdiction thereof.
Yep, thereof. Oh,
basically, those born or naturalized into the United States and under the jurisdiction thereof shall be citizens of the United States, etc., etc.
Yeah, so you brought up a very interesting point. Because here's the deal. Rubes, we're going to be honest with you, Zeb. When we did the show prep, neither one of us have a strong stance on this at all.
No.
We don't really know what the libertarian stance is on this bad boy.
Well, the hardcore libertarian stance is that there should be no borders, and I don't agree with that.
Yeah, because that's anarchy.
Yeah.
If you have no rule of law, blah blah blah.
Yeah,
blah.
no sovereignty. We don't share culture.
Yep.
So, that you're just asking for problems in that situation.
Yeah, I mean, here's the deal. It's not elitism. It's not whatever. But at the end of the day, Central America is not Western culture. It's not. So, the difference is this. Like, man, I'm gonna sound so racist and evil and homophobic. And this is coming from a guy who I'm trying to learn Spanish right now. I am trying my best to learn Spanish. I love ropa vieja. I love the... You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, just get rid of those onions and peppers.
No, that's what... Come on, man!
I'm not saying don't make it with them. I'm saying take them out after you've made it because I can't stand them.
I love
But I love the meat and the sauce and...
Yeah, listen, I love Latin culture as it's integrated into Western society. I love mi gente. I love Jay Bevin. I love Mexican music.
Menudo?
I love Puerto Rican. Menudo. I love tacos, burritos. I love all of that. I love actual Spanish food, which is yellow beans and rice. I love, colada, which is the Cuban coffee. What?
Arroz con pollo?
Arroz con pollo. I love all of it. It's amazing. That's how I moved to Florida and got fatter, okay? I love the food here. Don't get me wrong. I love the culture. I love the style. I love it all. But here's the problem. At the end of the day, that's being integrated into our Western society. It's integrated. Just like African-American culture. Black culture is integrated into America. Before the show, we watched how many Michael Jackson videos? Now, he started black, turned white, whatever. We don't know what Michael Jackson is. But that is integrated into our culture. Everybody knows Michael Jackson. That should be like, if we had a poll, that'd be a good poll question. Name somebody who hates Michael Jackson. Like, his actual performance. Good luck. But think about this stuff. We love Jay-Z and Beyonce in America, okay? We love different cultures. We don't, yeah. Jay-Z is just diet Biggie Smalls, and he's just never going to be as good as Biggie, so, good luck. And Beyonce, I don't like any of Beyonce's music.
No.
At all.
It's not empowering to women in any way, shape, or form, no matter what people say.
I don't want to put a ring on it. No. I'll be honest with you.
No.
I liked her in Destiny's Child. That was cool. Say my name, say my name.
She pretended to be a Christian. And...
Well, she pretended, yeah. They always pretend to be a Christian to get in.
Yeah.
They always say, I was a church singer, Katy Perry, and now I'm so much all the same. But anyways, my point is this. Illuminati. But anyways, my point is this. New World Order. But my deal is this, okay? What? What's going on?
No,
NWO.
I
got
hear
you.
anything.
So, what?
Yeah.
I got you. Yeah, Illuminati. But anyways, no, I'm just kidding. 33-degree rubes out there. But, my point is this, okay, we love culture in the context of Western society. I love things from Britain. We've integrated that into our Western society. From Australia. Have you ever heard of Tim Tam before?
Tim Tam?
Tim Tams? Oh, my goodness,
It's a candy, right?
It's like a cookie. It's so good.
I've heard of it,
Tim
but I've never
Tams,
tasted one.
Bomb.com. We've integrated this stuff. We have this thing called the World Market, those World Markets, right? Mm-hmm. We integrate all this stuff, but it's not the predominant idea of Western culture. Central America is not the same as Western culture.
Food and dancing and,
yeah.
And those aren't the essence of a culture.
No.
It's the shared values and principles that, that lay at the heart of what a culture is. And if they're wildly different, all you're going to have is conflict.
And spoiler alert, most countries are wildly different than America. They are. They're completely different. Look at Central America. Can you please name a country that's closest to America? Please go. I was talking to my buddy Joel about this a couple years ago. People from South and Central America, freedom is not born into their soul. He would say that. He's like, freedom is not born into their soul. Like Americans, freedom is like a part of our essence. Mm-hmm. We hate being told what to do. We will flip you off for any reason whatsoever because that's part of our DNA. We have an entrepreneurial, cross the plains, get to the West Coast, conquer type of mindset.
Don't tread on me.
Don't tread on me, man.
It's I don't know, man. It's just saying those words makes me feel good.
Oh, it's America, bro. That's America. I want to get the snake tattoo around my arm. But anyways, cool. What? No,
dude. Speaking of tattoos, sidebar.
Yeah.
I love Samoan tattoos.
Yeah, no, they're awesome. You gonna get one?
I kind of want to get
Step up, but that's called cultural appropriation.
I know.
You gotta learn some Hawaiian, bro. Like, gonna be some
just gonna do this all the time.
You gotta say oos, bro. Oos, man. You gotta know the oos, man. But anyways, eat some katsu.
But it's just geometric shapes.
I know. Just steal it, bro. Steal it, bro.
Yeah, I'm not afraid of.
I don't want
to get stabbed in the.
Listen, here's the deal. I've got the tattoo display. I've got Arabic. I don't speak any Arabic. I've got Hebrew. I don't speak it. I've got Cairo, which is Latin, part of Latin. I've got more Roman numerals. Greek. Oh yeah, Greek. What? I got it. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, Greek. Sorry about that. But I don't speak those languages, bro. Come on, man.
Japanese.
I got Japanese. I got chikara, which is power in Japanese. I got that. I speak chikara. Skoshi. I speak Skoshi Japanese. Skoshi. But anyways, that impressed you, didn't it? That did impress you. That's pretty good, bro.
Thank you. Thank you.
What? You know Japanese too?
No, that's about all I know. But I
did you just hear that?
I imitate languages really well.
Oh my gosh!
I can speak pretty good Spanish, but I have no idea what I'm saying. I can read it really well, but I have no idea what I'm saying.
That's impressive.
Yeah,
that blew me away. But yeah, anyways, my point is this. Okay, all these cultures are integrated. Okay, they're integrated. They're just mixed into what's going on. But the core essence is the Constitution, which is for the people, by the people. That's what our American culture is. Central and South America are not that way. Hate to break it to you. Ever heard of a guy getting Fidel Castro? That's called dictatorship. Venezuela.
Che Guevara.
Okay, well, Venezuela. Yeah, Che Guevara in Cuba. Dictatorship. I mean, corruption in Brazil. It's pretty much like the reality of the situation is this. The idea of freedom is not embedded in those cultures. So when they come in, they are looking for the government to do what the government needs to do. So what side do you think that favors? Let's get real with ourselves. From the right, we love to exploit cheap labor. We love doing that. No offense. I mean, I'm not a hardcore Republican. I will never admit that. But guess what? The reason why we've not built the wall up at this point is we kind of like that stuff. We like the cheap labor that drives the price down. From the left side, they've got a voter base immediately. Because, listen, at the end of the day, we don't have universal health care, but we have one of the largest welfare systems in the world, period. That's what it is. Mm-hmm. You come in, you can utilize what's going on here in America immediately. Immediately.
Yeah. See, now, yeah. I think the conservative view on labor is that, I mean, people should be paid a fair wage.
Fair enough, but that's what rhinos do.
Well, no, I understand that. We also understand the economic principles.
Sure.
That you're going to find labor as cheap as you can get it.
Yeah, of course.
Which
keeps the price down for everything. I get that. I totally get it.
So it's like, it's a give and a take.
But the flip side is for every...
But the other thing is, the reason why we need freaking $15 for there to be a living wage is because of things like the minimum wage and all the other economic policies that inflate the value of the dollar.
Yeah.
I mean, when you look back and you see that gas used to cost under $1 a gallon.
25 cents.
When I was graduating from high school, it cost $1.07.
Yeah. I remember it being 87 cents in Ohio, my senior year, bro.
Yeah.
87 cents.
And so it's like...
the good old days.
There's the federal government tinkering, monkeying around.
Gosh. You racist. Racist.
I am so sorry.
I'm so triggered.
Anyway, so the federal government monkeying around with the economy.
Foreshadowing.
destroys our our dollar.
Yeah, 100%.
And that's why it takes so much money to live.
Yeah.
At the same time, okay, now I'm not looking back with rosy glasses and saying, a house only costs $1,000 was a lot of money back then.
100%.
Not everybody had $1,000, but
one income could take care of an entire family. Think about that.
Yes.
One family.
That is true.
That is undeniable. That is an undeniable situation. And, when we're forcing, I mean, that's the thing. Like, we're a product of, like, 2 generations now, we're into this thing. It's tough to make it on one income, man. It's
Trust
really
me, I
hard.
know from experience.
Yeah, I mean, me and Charity, more power to you. You know what I mean? But that's the thing. It's like, it's tough to do that, right? So that is a proof of the inflation of what's going on and so on and so forth. Because again, people are like, well, it was a quarter of gas back then. But think about the one income, man. Dad went and worked. Oh, this is going to sound triggering, okay? Dad went to work. Mom stayed home with the kids. And was daycare a big thing back in those days?
No.
Did that exist?
No.
Think about that.
That's a market that grew out of the necessity.
Of course.
But
yeah, the bigger point...
You know what? It's probably a number of factors because, you have more women entering the marketplace. Yeah. Now you've got 2 incomes, and so people, the market is going to raise their prices because they know that you have the money.
Oh, yeah, they got you by the you-know-whats, man. But that's the thing. So here's the thing.
But
back to birthright
all a big mess.
Back to birthright citizenship, okay? At the end of the day, like, here, you made a really good point before the show, and you said that if a dignitary from China, okay, comes in, has a child on American soil, okay, that kid is not an American citizen. Yes. That kid is a Chinese citizen.
Because the parents are not under the jurisdiction of
No, they're under the jurisdiction of the United States.
Of China.
So furthermore, how could someone who is seeking asylum from a couple countries away... Seeking asylum, show up...
Or just illegally entering the country.
Or just enter the country illegally, which coming in the border, it's illegal. How do they have the same rights as an American citizen?
Yeah, parents are not under the jurisdiction because they are not citizens.
No.
So
they're from Honduras.
Yeah.
They're Hondurans.
Mm-hmm.
So, like, when we exploit the one line, the jurisdiction of, I mean, that's where
we forget. I mean, I think the argument is that it's being forgotten.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yeah. But at the same time, I don't want to end up in a, Starship Troopers situation where, remember that conversation, the topless conversation in the shower.
Who could forget?
Where it's like, why'd you join the military? Well, I want to have babies, and the fast you can't do that unless you're a citizen, and the fastest way to path to citizenship is to join the military. So here we are, and I'm gonna die next scene. Hooray! Now granted that's a movie. It's
but that's an amazing marketing ploy, though. Topless girl. I just want to have babies. I mean, think about that. what an amazing marketing ploy. But anyways, back to point. But yeah, I could see that too. I could see where it becomes Rome.
Yeah,
it becomes
exactly.
Rome.
Yeah,
it becomes Rome. You got to earn your citizenship. You live in Rome occupied country, but you may not be a citizen. I mean, that's what saved Paul a bunch of times, right? Because Paul was a Roman citizen.
Yeah, he got audience with the emperor because he's got to deliver the gospel to the emperor of Rome
because he's a Roman.
Because he was a Roman citizen,
a Jew but a Roman at the same time.
Amazing how God works.
That's weird. It's like he's in control.
What was fascinating to me, is the polar opposites that are Peter and Paul.
100%.
So you got an uneducated fisherman Jew.
Yep.
And he's tasked to go to the Jews,
who are the educated,
who are I mean, this is their religion, and tell them, you're wrong. Your boy Jesus is the way, the truth, and the life.
Your boy. You probably said it that way in Hebrew. Your boy Jesus. Cristo.
But and then you've got super educated Jew.
Yep.
Who you would think would be the one to go to the super educated Jews and argue them into
he goes to ruffians.
Yeah, he goes to the world that doesn't particularly care for the Jews.
Yeah.
And tell them, hey, all your gods are wrong. But there's a Jewish carpenter I know, and he's pretty awesome. You might want to consider him.
That is very cool. But yeah, I mean, like, I don't know, man. Like,
but it's exactly the thing is that God knew what He was doing.
Yeah,
So He sent the person that would shock them.
I know. So how would Jesus handle this? That's a tough question. How do you handle? Because here's the problem: to give unto Caesar what's Caesar. So obviously, you want to abide by the laws of the land. The law of the land is you can't enter the country illegally at all. One. And then have a kid, and then expect to, but how it's being read is, you have a kid in here, they're technically an American citizen, and so on and so forth. So,
let's. I think we have a pretty succinct answer.
Okay.
To what would Jesus do?
What would Jesus do, man?
Can you enter legally into heaven?
Oh, what? Wait! Don't go that far. I mean, come on, bro. You can't say that, bro. No,
ain't nobody getting into heaven that doesn't have citizenship.
You can't break in.
You can't break in.
You can't storm the
There's only one way to break in, and you got to follow the path.
No, what?
The original Christians, they didn't call themselves Christians. They called themselves people of the way.
Yeah. But then you're going to get the Bernie Bro Christians that say, "Hey,
there is no such thing as hell." And
well, no. Okay,
I think those are the Bernie Bro Christians.
Okay, sorry. There's middle grounders. I won't name them that are Christian guys that love Bernie Sanders. Blah blah blah. I won't say names on this program, but I know them. Mm-hmm. Okay, Christian people. They love Jesus, but they're like, well, what about all those verses in the Bible that says to talk about foreign people in your country. Talk about the foreigners and love on them and blah, 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 blah.
Okay. We do that.
Yeah, I mean, I would argue that too.
We are the most charitable nation in the entire world.
Yeah, once people come in, we're pretty, I mean, even now, like, the thing too is how many illegal people are here right now. Right now. I mean,
Millions?
right now.
Millions?
Are they being persecuted and hunted down and shot down? No.
Well, I mean, they're being deported by
that
satanic organization, ICE.
ICE. But I mean, think about it. I mean, we treat them like gold here right now. We do. We treat them like gold. I mean, we do. Like, who's treated...
We treat their criminals like gold.
I know. And they use our taxpayer money. And that's the thing, too, is like, I love the argument that people, the left will bring up, well, it's a net benefit financially to bring in illegal citizens. No, it's not. It's not even close. The amount of taxes that illegals actually contribute, I think it's like $118 billion that we have to pay as American citizens to take care of the illegal problem and so on and so forth. The contribution back is only like $11 billion or something like that. So it's like a net negative of like $100 billion just to deal with the situation of people being foreign. So, I mean, you bring up a good point. I mean, is there open gates in heaven? No, man. It's one way. Now, it's open to anyone to accept that, weigh in, just like in America. It's very simple. Go through the process. And the thing that I think is interesting, too, is every person that I've talked to that's migrated to America legally, all oppose illegal immigration. It's deplorable to them. It's
Yeah, well, because they worked freaking hard to get there.
Yeah, they did the right proper channels to do what they had to do, man.
Yeah,
crazy how that
here's
works.
the difference between America and heaven: is that you have to work for it to get into America.
That's true. You don't.
In heaven, there's nothing you can do.
But there's one way in, man.
But there is one person who already did it for you.
Oh, look at that, man! You know what? You need like the. And now the things you know, and now you know. The more you know, yeah. No, but I mean, it's tough because I hate to bring up Ann Coulter on Plausible Foolishness. I hate to do it and stuff like that, but I'll go there. I'm Alex Jones guy, so I'll go there with Ann Coulter. I mean, she makes a very good point. If Trump would have followed through on his campaign promise and put the wall up, we wouldn't be having this problem. Think about it. A caravan could come, but if you got a 30-foot wall that's separating two countries, pretty hard to overpower that situation. Now, they overpowered the fence in Mexico, but it was like a chain link fence. You know what I mean? It was like nothing. If you had a wall in place already, I mean, it is what it is. And the other thing, too, I think about with this is, I get it. Like, Trump's going to do an executive order. It's probably not going to happen. I'll be real with you. It's probably not. This is probably political timing. It's probably political pandering. It's directing our minds in the right way. But, I mean, if there's a red wave that happens on this, do you think it gets funding to get a wall to prevent things like this from happening? I mean, think about it. Because here's the thing. Everywhere else has a wall, guys. I hate to break it to you. Most countries have walls. Well, the Vatican's got walls.
You talk about that net benefit or negative, and the price of a wall severely
you could fully
the price of illegal immigration severely outstrips the price of a wall.
Well, yeah. Well, they broke it down. Like literally, we would make our money back in 2 years. Like if we built a wall, the net benefit within 2 years would pay for itself. The wall would literally pay for itself, keeping illegal immigrants out. Like, it just is what it is. And I get it. Like, oh, you're so heartless and you're such a jerks for keeping people out of trying to get their opportunity. If they're really asylum seekers, why wouldn't you go to Mexico where they speak your language? Why wouldn't you do that? Why not? El Salvador.
Mexico's just as bad.
But bro, okay, I get it, but it's not. I mean, it's not as bad as. I mean, do you think Mexico's as bad as like? I don't know, man. Maybe I'm crazy. I just came from Mexico.
Well,
so
okay. Here's the real deal. We're so heartless, and we should. They just want their opportunity, but you don't know that that's true.
No, I know. You don't know because listen. I will listen,
and the way we find out is through the immigration process.
Yeah. I'll grant them that there are mothers and children trying to escape bad situations. I will grant them that there are people that really genuinely want to change their lives and do big things in America. Flip side, though, for every one of those, wouldn't you think, just from a statistical standpoint, there's a freeloader in there? Or a criminal? I mean, they have the one clip online, they're like, there's criminals, man, there's like criminals.
Criminals everywhere.
There's criminals everywhere.
And then he doesn't stutter, but it's kind of like you see him. He keeps talking and kind of like reframes it slightly.
Yeah.
into into not a there's criminals everywhere, yeah, into a well, there's criminals everywhere.
Oh yeah, there's criminals everywhere. Yeah, general. Yeah, that's all that.
Yeah, that happens, but there's a lot of good people here.
So I mean, that's the thing. It's like, so what's the deal? Do you just let people in and try to figure it out after they're in here? No, that doesn't help the situation. You screen it out before.
That just puts other innocents in danger.
Well, the flip side is, do you just inject AIDS and be like, hey, listen, let me inject some AIDS in you, and then I'll figure out later on to stop it.
You know what it is, though? It really is their worldview. Nobody in America is innocent.
Okay.
So they don't feel any compassion for. See, we're rich and we're, at least by the world standard, that's actually true.
Well, it's true. Yeah.
We're rich and we're, and thus we're evil. And the sainted poor are coming in droves to come be rich with us.
Yeah.
And of course, we evil rich don't want them to take our piece of the pie because there's a limited amount of wealth. So ultimately, yeah, they don't care about us. The children here, the Kate Steinleys of America, they think they in no way think that we're innocent.
Sure.
And somehow I don't know if they put themselves in that same bandwagon. I kind of suspect that they don't, because they're advocates for the poor, for the sainted poor. So they they're
morally better.
Yeah, well, they're
morally sanctimonious.
Yeah, they're sanctified.
Yeah.
By that advocacy.
Sure. They've covered themselves, but that's the funny thing is, like, that is the party that claims morality and still does the things it does, which is hilarious to me. But
it's the party that boos God.
Yep.
Okay.
Kills kids.
Kills children.
Keeps people poor.
Promotes,
nonsense.
Nonsense, and claims that there's no such thing as nonsense that logically taken to its conclusion would lead you to the idea that there is no such thing as morality, and yet moralizes every chance that they can get.
Yeah, that's interesting. There's no morality, but we're more moral than you. Mm-hmm. It's crazy how it works, man. That's a pretty crazy idea. Just like, what's crazy, man? There's people that actually believe that there's hate on the ballot that's going to be happening on Tuesday, man.
Oh, of course.
There's hate on the ballot.
Yeah. Everything that the Republicans do is hateful. Don't you know that?
So, are we voting for KKK members, or what's going on the right side?
Well, I mean, might as well be. No, you're not KKK. That's the JV League.
Oh.
We're talking about full-blown Nazis.
Whoa,
okay?
Yeah.
This is fascism.
Didn't somebody on CNN say that Trump has radicalized more people than ISIS has? Did you hear about that? On The View, I think it was The View or CNN or somebody. There's a girl that literally said that Trump radicalizes more people than ISIS. And I was like, are you freaking kidding me? I was like, have you seen anybody get their head lopped off and somebody yelled MAGA afterwards? Like, MAGA! MAGA! I did this to make America great again. Like, come on, man.
God. That would be sick.
It would be disgusting. And we condemn it. Like our president condemned. I would hate
to live in that world.
So our president condemned the bombings, the quote-unquote bombings, which weren't real bombs, by the way. They were like terrible whatever.
Yeah, my understanding is they didn't even have a detonation.
No, they weren't even close to being an actual bomb. That's ironic that happened right before the election. But anyways, the crazy right winger. And then he condemned the violence against the Jews, but somehow is a Nazi. His son-in-law's Jewish. His daughter's a converted Jew. He absolutely. And here's the line about we want to destroy the people that are destroying the Jews. Did you hear about that? He's like, we will those who want to destroy the Jews. We're going to destroy that or something like whatever. I'm misquoting. I'm just putting it in context. But to say that stuff and then to say on the ballot that there's hate on the ballot, that the Republicans are perpetrating hate to the American people is completely asinine to me. Yeah. I mean, what actual shred of proof on the ballots that Republicans are advocating hate? I would love to see this.
Well, I mean, they're using this bomber. They're using the guy who shot up the synagogue.
Okay.
And they're claiming
who hated Trump, by the way.
Yeah, who hated Trump, said he wasn't, a Nazi.
He's a Zionist, man.
He should have, yeah.
He wasn't Nazi enough. That's crazy.
You know, basically they're claiming that Trump. Let's see. Let me get the exact line.
Look at all those MAGA hats. That pumps me up a little bit, man. No, I'm just kidding.
All these hate crimes seem clearly linked to the climate of paranoia and racism, deliberately fostered by Donald Trump and his allies in Congress and the media.
Oh
the media. What media?
Yeah.
People on YouTube like us?
Yeah.
With our 15 followers?
Yeah, I know, right? Come on. We had 7,500 people watch our thing. Anyways, but yeah. I'm still pumped about that.
Yeah, no, it was cool.
Hey, but yeah.
But,
Owen Benjamin even talked about us, man. Come on, we're blowing up faster than the universe. Follow us on YouTube and all that fun stuff like that. But yeah, go ahead. What media is backing him? Besides independent media. Like, media of the people.
Mm-hmm.
Not big donored people besides Daily Wire, you know what I mean? But I'm just kidding. That's all right. But think about that. What media are they talking about?
I have no idea.
All the major media outlets detest the ground that Trump walks on. Literally. They tried to make a hurricane about Trump. You think about it.
And the claim in this article, this is an opinion piece on the New York Times. The rage seems to have been fueled by conspiracy theory being systematically spread by Trump supporters.
Okay, yeah.
The claim that Jewish financiers are bringing brown people into America to displace whites. No. That's not being systematically spread by Trump supporters.
Not even close.
Well, okay, unless you're
Soros.
talking... Okay, if you're talking about Trump supporters that are, rogue...
Yeah.
Rogue small groups of morons.
Like there's rogue small groups of morons everywhere. Yes.
Yeah. Okay, yeah. They support Trump and they say this ridiculous...
Yes.
Yeah. Hogwash.
Yes.
That isn't Trump and his Congress and his congressional allies and the media allies. It's that's nonsense.
Well, 100%. Well, they are
nobody in conservative radio is going, in really truly conservative radio is going. Yeah, no, but they're right about those Jews. You know? I mean,
you should check Gavin McGinnis though. I mean, Gavin McGinnis.
He'll make that joke. So will Owen Benjamin. He makes that joke constantly. But no, nobody believes.
Nobody believes that crap. They don't. And we condemn violence. We condemn that stuff. We are not about that stuff. We're not about violence. You know what I mean? Like, we're trying to win the argument through your brain, through facts. And the reality is, when you try to win your arguments through feelings, you just do violent things. You know what I mean? It is what it is. Like, that's the left's deal. Love our ideas, or we're going to force you to. By fist or by gunpoint, man. It's kind of how it works. So, I mean, at the end of the day, it's just interesting to me that there's.
I'm just sick. I'm tired of this. Why is everything divided on racial lines? I'm so sick of it.
Because they have that.
Well, I know it's just easy to
because they're losing it.
Yeah, it's just
the problem is this: I hate
divide and conquer, and that's the easiest way to do it.
Here's the thing: America, you like it or love it, we always unite behind wars. Okay, war happens. Nobody gives a rat's butt if you're black, white, brown, or whatever. You know what I mean? We're in, hate it or love it, and I am the one who have absolutely hated the Iraqi war. That is the dumbest, most pointless thing on the planet. I will argue that to the day I die. But think about it. We weren't as racially divided back then. It's kind of weird. You know what I mean? Kind of crazy. We were watching old Michael Jackson videos, man. Black and White was one of his big videos. Talking about harmony. Nobody knows if Michael was black or white. Who knows? There's a bunch of conspiracies on that, right? But we all came together around that. And magically, we finally come together and we vote in an African American, we vote in a half black guy, and then we get more divided. That's kind of weird. And then the next guy who comes in, ipso facto, is literally the big racist guy magically somehow. Does that make sense? So, like, for me, they were losing the country because at the end of the day, it's like you can't pit poor against rich in America. I mean, you can, and that's what they're trying to do with our politics. But at the end of the day, if you have half of a sense or a brain, even the poorest among us are still better than most countries. It is what it is. And at the end of the day, there's Americans, right? We're Americans, and they have continually tried to get us to hate each other based on race. But here's the problem. In 40 years, everybody's going to look brown. It just is what it is. We're all going to look Latino. That's what it is. We are. Like, it's already happening. I'm just ahead of the curve.
This means nothing.
It doesn't. And people realize it.
And this is what's important.
Listen, it's meritocracy. That is America. It's meritocracy.
I hope we don't ever lose that.
No,
that's what's at stake. We're quibbling about this and losing those values.
Yeah, I mean, and the sad thing is this, unfortunately, this is how America works. We will not unite unless there is somebody outside of us to fight. That's what it is. Here's the thing. We don't have any major fights.
And the thing is that that's not necessarily a bad thing when it's not...
If there's an
when it's not
threat,
falling along racial lines. Like, in the early days, of the Union... You were a Georgian first.
Yeah.
You were a Floridian first, even though Florida didn't exist.
Yeah, that's true.
You were, New Yorker first before you were American.
Yeah.
You were a New York American.
Yeah, 100%.
And so like the state,
to this day, though.
Yeah, because even in that 14th Amendment we were talking about earlier.
Yeah.
You were a citizen of the U.S. and the state that you were born in.
Yeah.
So. The state citizenship was actually looked at as more important. We've
United
turned everything
states.
Yes, we've turned everything upside down.
100%. I get it. Now listen, man. But what's funny is that still, when I talk to people that are from other countries, like that's the one thing they're like, that's so weird. You're like so excited about it. You're saying, like, if I see somebody from Ohio, I'm like, hey, we're from Ohio. Like, we're Ohio's. You know what I mean? We're Floridians. We're whatever. But back to our point. I digress. But my thing is,
I wish we were like that in Florida.
What?
Sort of,
But we kind of are, though.
I'm not.
You're not.
I'm like, oh, you're from Florida? Okay, cool.
Yeah, but you grew up here. You hate it.
Yeah, but I mean, I should feel some kind of
you should feel pride.
I feel pride for the Miami Hurricanes. I actually feel pride more for Miami than I do the state of Florida.
But that's because
maybe that's even better.
But see, Miami's not really a part of Florida, though. It's like Miami, and then there's like the Panhandle.
It's North
and
Cuba.
Then there's like... But yes, you know what I mean? Jacksonville, South Georgia.
No, that's true. I mean, well, that actually brings us to the next guy.
What?
That was a comment.
What?
That our good friend from the Gillum campaign made.
Oh, is that the mayor from Tallahassee?
Yeah, the mayor of Tallahassee running for governor.
Isn't he under investigation?
The great state of Florida?
From the great state of Florida. Isn't he under investigation? From the FBI? For corruption?
I mean, no, he's totally on the up and up. And,
yeah, but that's not true. I mean, like, he literally got on the phone got on correspondence with an FBI agent and got free stuff, which is a little bit of corruption, right? They have him on that. Interesting.
I saw a tweet from the Daily Caller today saying that he used city finances to run his campaign or something.
You fix the streets?
I don't know if that's...
Did you say fix the streets?
No, to run his campaign.
To fund education?
No, to fund his campaign.
Take care of the police force.
Fund his campaign.
Yeah, but that's illegal. You can't do that.
Yeah. Well, I mean, and I didn't really look into it. I just saw a tweet. But, I mean...
But we're getting no bomb. Here's the thing with Gillum, and I'm going to say this, because I can say this. I've got the brown coat here, so I can say this, all right? You're Floridians, okay? Floridians, listen. I moved to this great state for a couple reasons, okay? One, it's incredibly warm here. If you grew up north and you freeze your balls off every single day, you would understand why there's so many freaking New York people in your state. You would understand why so many Ohioans are here, why so many people from Pennsylvania, so many people from everywhere else are in the state of Florida. You know why? Because we love the warmth, okay? Check. I know you hate it, but check. We love it, okay? Secondly, you don't have a state tax.
Yeah, that's a beautiful thing.
You don't have a state tax. So in Ohio, we get hit with that federal tax, which everybody hates, but then we get this thing called a state tax. That sucks even more. Because we're like, why am I paying double to live in America? That doesn't make any whole sense. It's asinine, okay?
Yeah, it is. And I mean, the states are supposed to be laboratories of democracy. I don't know how anybody doesn't, like, this works really well.
Yeah.
For Florida.
Spoiler alert.
For Texas.
Spoiler alert. All the states that don't have state taxes flourish. Vegas, Texas, Vegas isn't a state. Nevada,
yeah.
Texas, Tennessee, Florida. There is a reason why people move there and why they flourish and why they're successful. Because there's no state tax. Okay? It's crazy. And that's why a lot of people come to Florida, because it's an amazing place. We're a place of tourism. We generate a lot of revenue that way. We don't have to tax our citizens. We don't have to survive. And guess what? There's a lot of net positives why Florida's a great place. And don't ruin that success by being an idiot. Understand, there's a reason why we have not voted for... how long has it been since we voted a Democrat in the governor?
I think they said a couple decades.
A couple decades. We've been successful. We have 3 of the most moved to cities in the entire country. Jacksonville, Tampa, and Orlando. People are moving here for a reason. You know why? Because of those great policies that were run by conservatives. Don't get Obama'd on this bad boy. And I hate to say it, because that's all it is. The reason why they're so excited about Andrew Gillum is one reason, and one reason only. He's black. That's it. That is the only reason why. Because if you check his record, he's not a good mayor in Tallahassee. He sucks. He's very corrupt. What do you think is going to happen when you put that guy in more power over an entire state? And what even makes that situation worse is what just got dropped by Project Veritas literally yesterday. When they're sitting with campaign guys that work directly on this campaign, and internally, they have a joke. You know what the joke is? The modern fairy tale used to say, once upon a time. Now it's, when I get elected. Think about that statement. Andrew Gillum saying that a lot. Once I get elected, I'm going to help you out. Help what out? We're one of the most prosperous states in the union. At the end of the day, there's an old saying from Ohio. I don't know if you guys have it down here in Florida, but if it ain't broke, don't fix it.
We do.
Oh, you have that down here?
Yeah, we do.
Okay, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So why would you take crappy failed policy from a crappy... Listen, we make fun of Tallahassee in Florida. No one in Florida actually likes Tallahassee. Does anybody like Tallahassee?
Maybe FSU students.
I mean, the Panhandle makes fun of Tallahassee. Orlando, Tampa, Jacksonville, we make fun of Tallahassee. No one goes there. It's like a 6-hour drive for nothing but Florida State, which are terrible too. They're horrible this year, right? Miami doesn't even consider itself a part of Florida. So why in the world would we take the guy who's in charge of the biggest dump in Florida and put him in freaking... and keep him in Tallahassee to govern us?
To govern us, to tax us into oblivion.
He wants to add $1 billion. In taxes. Where's that going to come from? Out of his own pockets? Ain't going to happen. No, the dude's taking his own funds from Tallahassee and funding his run for governor. That's illegal. He takes illegal bribes. That's illegal. He's a corrupt dude. But guess what? CNN's they're whitewashing, or they're blackwashing it, because he's a black guy and he's a smooth brother. And because he is, that's why you should vote for him. I'm sorry, that's not a reason to vote for somebody. Learn your lesson from Obama. How'd that work out for you? We all voted. I voted for Obama twice.
I did not.
Twice. I did it. You know why? Because I was like, yeah, put the brother in there, right? And guess what? He talked a lot and did little. Trump talks like an a-hole and sounds like an idiot most of the time and delivers. And here's the thing. Florida has been successful because of Republican rule. There's a reason why we need to kick out. Nelson needs to go, man. Nelson's propped up by Miami. Guess what? I hope Rick Scott annihilates him. DeSantis, yes, he looks like a little turd. I get it. There's nothing exciting about Ron DeSantis whatsoever. But if he's got that R attached to the name, there's a little bit more accountability to hold him to do what he's supposed to do. I get it. Does that make sense?
Rick Scott isn't, an unblemished whatever. But,
no,
but America has... America.
Florida's thrived under him.
Florida's done pretty
well.
Under
him, he has not gotten in the way of it. He's not gotten in the way of it. Yes, he looks like a... he looks like a creeper, okay? I'll own it. With his Navy hat. I get it. I don't like it when he smiles. I get a little, I get a little nervous. He's like the human version of what Jack Skellington would be. Does that make sense? If Jack Skellington was a human, yes, that'd be Rick Scott. He's terrifying to look at when he smiles. But here's the deal. Ever since I've lived in Florida, he's been my governor. He's been successful. He's done a really good job, okay? Put him in the Senate. I don't know anything about Ron DeSantis. I'll be the first to admit it. But what I've heard from Andrew Gillum so far is not getting things going. And when you see things like Project Veritas, who, if you don't know what Project Veritas is, Rubes, they infiltrate different political operations and so on and so forth. They get in tight with people and they do undercover investigative journalism. Journalism.
You may not be familiar with it because you haven't seen it in
what is actual journalism?
Decades.
Is that stating facts?
Yeah, it's like uncovering the truth and
and revealing the truth.
Yeah.
Weird. So he has a video of one of his top staffers calling Florida a cracker state.
Yeah, an effed up cracker state.
An effed up cracker state. So you got a staffer of a guy who wants your vote calling your state a cracker state. And not only saying that, but saying, when I'm elected is a fairy tale. And literally saying on the video, the voters don't need to know things. The voters don't need to know. They just need to get us voted in, and then we can do what we want.
Well, to get us voted in, and then we need to focus on the Congress, because then we can actually push the agenda then.
Gosh, man.
And what is the agenda? Well, duh, it's socialism. And you may be thinking, socialism's great. You're wrong. You're wrong. If you think that socialism is great, you're wrong.
Hey, watch Batman 3.
Yes.
Watch Batman 3. Watch Bane take over Gotham, and that's what socialism looks like. Kangaroo courts, people just getting,
dragged out into the street and beaten. And, and then you get that scene where Catwoman talks to her little friend, and she's like, I didn't want this. And like, didn't you want a place to live or whatever? And she's like, this is our home now.
Our home.
This is our home.
Yeah. And this what you wanted? Well, here's the flip side too about that movie. Like, you think
nobody owns anything.
Yeah.
Oh God. It's
and here's the
horrifying.
thing. For all the people that are like, oh, plausible foolishness, you're such fools for saying the comparing socialism to Batman 3 and Bane. There's a place called Venezuela. Look it up. Same thing's going on there. Please just give us one place where socialism or progressive ideas that Mr. Gillum is pushing, that he needs to dupe the effing cracker state to get into. Think about that. What do you think the policies are going to look like? Now, I'm not going to say that Florida's going to turn into Mad Max overnight, but here's the deal. It's a slow trickle into what's going on. Florida's prospered. Why would we vote people in? Texas has been kicking so much ass. I hate to say it. I had to say ass on the show. But they've been kicking so much ass for a long time. You know why? It's Republican ruled. It's weird. New York is sucking. You know why? Because it's always been led by the blue. Texas is killing it because it's always been led by the red.
California. I mean, New York's not even... California is just off the chart.
Yeah. Blue.
And bankrupt.
And guess what? People move away.
The B in blue also stands for bankruptcy.
Bankrupt. Or they're about to burgle you. But you know what I mean? That's how it works. But, like, think about this, guys. Like, just use your brain for 3 seconds.
Eventually, the money will run out. And then
But I thought they were going to secede. I thought California was going to...
What?
I thought they were going to secede California.
Well, California wants to... There's a movement to try and split it up.
That'd be great.
I think that would be actually...
Because it would be San Francisco blue.
Because you'd have crazy... you'd have crazy areas, and then...
Yeah,
the sane areas...
Central California would be red.
Mm-hmm.
It'd be red as the eye can see. Mm-hmm. It'd be like, yeah, but anyways. But, my point, I mean... I mean, here's the thing, man. Just use your brain, man. Use your brain. Like, really think through this. And I get it. There's a lot of progressives that are like, well, what about Bill Clinton? Bill Clinton was a moderate, man. I hate to break it to you. And he had a very Republican-ruled Congress. He worked with the Republicans. They worked moderately. That's why we had so much success. We had the dot-coms. And guess what? Nobody really knew what was going on with Bill anyways and stuff like that. At the end of the day, like, that's how they made it work.
You saw innovation wasn't stifled, and we got the dot-com area. On top of that, he was still riding on what Reagan did.
Shocker. That's weird. But flip side is, just think about it. How were your days under Obama? And be honest. Be honest. And I know there's a lot of people like, don't talk trash about Obama. How was your life under Obama? How was the new normal? Remember that? The new normal? No jobs. Low income. Lots of taxes.
He made the statement that we'd never get back to 4% unemployment. This is the new. That's where the new normal.
New normal, man.
Came from. Unemployment's just going to be high. That's just the way it is.
That's where Trump got in for 2 years, and then and now Obama's taking credit for it. At first he said, "Oh, we'll never get our economy back. Oh, the economy's getting better under this guy Trump." Well, don't forget, guys, I set that up. No, you didn't.
No, he actually systematically undid everything that you did, and that's why.
He wiped it away like a cloth or something like that. You know what I mean?
And it wasn't so much like Obama's economic policies per se, though they weren't awesome.
They're horrendous, but yeah, keep going.
And it was the regulations.
Yeah,
massive amount. I mean,
Well, here's the hypocrisy. There's tons of regulations on businesses and so on and so forth. But then he upheld the banks when they fell. I mean, when they fell apart. I mean, think that one through.
With Bush's help and McCain's help.
No, but think about that, bro. So you're going to regulate, like, that's called, like, isn't that crony capitalism? Isn't that kind of like...
That's exactly what it is.
Oh, that's weird. That's the definition of crony capitalism.
Yeah. So that's what, that just goes to show that capitalism is evil.
Oh, it's so evil.
Wrong. That's not true capitalism. And if you knew what you were talking about, you'd know that.
Hey.
Crony capitalism is a perversion of capitalism akin to a kind of socialism/fascism.
Yeah, pretty much.
I'm not down with that. I want free markets.
Free markets.
Left alone by the government.
You freaking libertarian.
Government is about protecting us from fraud and
foreign.
That's about it. You know,
was it protecting us from enemies, foreign and domestic, right?
Yeah. Well, we protect the Constitution from enemies, foreign and domestic. But like, what is their role in business? The federal government. Okay, so they deal with commerce between the states.
Okay.
According to the Constitution, and then the states would deal with like cases of fraud and so on and so forth. That's about it.
But they take a lot of money for that. I run a business, I got a lot of taxes. This was kind of crazy. But yeah, so anyways,
because they're not doing just that. They're doing a million other things that they don't have the explicit power to do.
That's weird. But we just don't pay attention.
If anything, we should be more taxed by our states than the federal government, because the federal government has a very limited role.
You're right.
And all powers that are not expressly written in the Constitution for the federal government go to the states and to the people. So
that's why we live in Florida, because we don't have that stuff.
Yeah.
Amen. I mean, that's the deal, guys. That's what. Here's the deal. Now, this is my public service announcement. PSA. Is that how you say it? PSA?
Yeah, PSA.
Okay, voting happens next Tuesday, okay? Make sure you go out and vote. Here's the smart thing. Go early vote. Like, just go early vote. Just do it now. You can early vote. Huh?
I did it.
Yeah, I did it too, bro. Did you vote?
Yeah, I did.
Look at us, man. We're just citizens of America. We're doing our civic duty. It's crazy, man. Red wave. But anyways, red round. But my
red wave.
But man, go and vote, man.
Yeah. How is Gillum in a tight heat with DeSantis? I'm not saying DeSantis is like amazing, but it shouldn't be.
Well, here's the problem.
But that's the thing. I wish
I call bullcrap though on that. Well, to be honest with you, because
I've heard some things that the early voting results have DeSantis in a significant lead, but then you can't really take that into.
Well, yeah,
that's not gospel.
Yeah, but the flip side is this. Here's what. This is my last take on Gillum, because I'm already tired of talking about this guy. We're getting Obama'd already, okay, with this dude, and he'll disappear and go away.
God, I hope he doesn't. This would be so bad.
No, it would be terrible.
And granted, he does have a Republican Congress that he'd have to deal with, but
good, thank God. But so here's my point. Long story short, how does a guy that only won 33% of the vote to win his nomination, that came out of nowhere, literally he won because of Tallahassee, going to beat the guy who? Because here's the problem. DeSantis wasn't even supposed to win the Republican side, and he did. And he won big. Like, he got 75% of the Republicans. So, the starting places, the base of the Republican Party is very behind. They're very behind him, right? Flip side with Andrew Gillum is only a third of the people were actually behind what's going on with him. So, I have a hard time believing.
But we have to take into account the Trump factor, Okay, yeah, they weren't behind Gillum, but
they're anti-Trump.
But they are anti-Trump.
But here's the flip side, too, though, and here's the deal. We live in Orlando. Orlando's a very blue city. It's blue. Like, if you actually break down the numbers, it's blue. Okay,
that's the thing. That's Florida's very purple.
It is. It's a purple place. It's purple, but
I wish it wasn't.
But think about it. Last of the election cycle is very Trump. It was very Trump. I think people in Florida are smarter. You know why? Because we're a battleground state. We are inundated with information. CNN did a specific governor race poll on their show with Gillum and DeSantis, right? How many states are getting that?
People care about Florida.
People care about Florida. Florida is always smashed with. How many vote signs have you seen out there just driving
all
around?
Over the place.
I mean, they know how important this place is. And the thing is, it's not like it's a bunch of good old boys crackers that are everywhere, man. There's a huge Cuban contingency that votes Republican. They will always vote Republican. You know why?
They've seen it.
They've seen it, man.
They've seen it.
And Reagan was the president when this stuff went down.
It disgusts them.
Yeah.
What's being bandied about as being beneficial for people.
I mean, and I don't want to say that. I don't want to be that person that, because every side does this. Oh, it's the uninformed people that vote for the other side, right?
Yeah.
I don't want to be that guy, because the flip side is it is what it is. But here's the deal: at the end of the day, prosperity has got to win out. At the end of the day, it has to. Like Texas is Texas.
Do you want a better future for your children?
Yeah, I mean,
you're not going to get that under socialism.
No.
You're not going to get that out of taxes bleeding you dry.
I mean,
or bleeding the business that you work for dry so that you don't have a job anymore.
You left New York for a reason.
Yeah, that's the thing.
You left.
That's what's happening in Texas. People are fleeing California and they're coming to Texas, but they don't seem to make the connection that the policies you voted for are the reason why it sucked.
Yeah. I mean,
so they bring that voting style with them.
Yep.
And it's like, no. That's the reason you left.
Yep. So, yeah, I mean, so just wise up. That's all I'm trying to say, man. Wise up. Be smart about this, man. I mean, don't get tricked. Listen, yesterday was trick or treat, okay? Mm-hmm. We all want treats, but there are tricks out there as well, okay? Blue is a trick, and red is a treat, my friend. Mm-hmm. Just learn from history.
Kill him is a trick.
Kill him's a trick, man. This anchor babies are a trick, man. I mean, I hate to say it, but it's a trick, man. Don't fall for this crap. I don't know, man. I'm trying to be nice about this, man. I'm trying to be as nice as possible to the Rubes, but it is what it is.
Well, the Rubes know.
The Rube Nation knows. But, guys, here's the deal. It's been plausible, and it's been foolish. It's been a fun show. But at the end of the day, do yourself a favor. Don't believe us. Do your own research. Look this up. Look at the past. Look at what's actually happening. Look at Texas. Look at California. Those are the most extreme examples. Where do you want to live? What situation? I'm not talking about, the sun and the sand and the blah, blah, blah. No. We're talking about actually living there. What cities are exploding?
Making a living. Can you even make a living?
Yeah, I mean, think about that. Do you want to ruin that?
Do you want to make a living or be given a living?
Yeah, that's true. Ooh, interesting. But think about that, guys. That's the cool thing about what's going on here, and you have control of that, and that's what's so important to go out and vote. That's why Plausible Foolishness is pushing so hard for you to vote. I'm not saying to go vote for all Republicans or all Democrats or whatever. We try to stay semi-neutral. Do we try to stay neutral, or do we just...
Well, we're definitely hardcore conservative.
I know, we are. Sorry.
But, I mean...
But the logic is there. We're just trying to give the logical argument here.
Yeah.
To let you understand what the smartest move is. Okay? You've seen prosperity in the last 2 years. You've seen America come back. And even though the guy's orange that's in the office that everybody hates all of a sudden is getting it done. That is the future, guys. It's not the rhinos of before. It's not the squishy liberals in between. And it's not the extreme, Antifa, left, crazy, whatever. It's not. It is just common sense, man. It's lowering taxes. It's increasing prosperity. That's what it is in America nowadays. It's doing the things we say we're going to do. Being tough. Being that shining light on the hill that America's supposed to be.
But you know what? I'm going to be bold.
Go.
I think I have more respect for the person who says, I just don't know, so I don't vote.
Okay. I do too.
I agree. The whole get out the vote thing, I don't know that I'm down with that. That smells to me like a trick, not a treat. Because if you don't know, then you're just following the personality.
Yeah.
That's the cult of personality, and we don't need that.
And he's a black guy.
Yeah,
we should vote for him.
Man, have you seen that picture where he doesn't have a tie on and his collar's open?
Oh, he's so cool.
He's so stylish.
He's so cool. I want to vote for him.
That makes good policy. Oh wait, no, it doesn't. And if you recognize that, hey, I'm uninformed. I'm not going to vote.
Yeah, I mean,
I respect that.
Yeah, I'm with you on that, man. I used to get pissed off when people didn't vote because you think of what is it, only like 40% of Americans vote or something like that.
Yeah,
it's like 40% or something.
I would prefer the uninformed person to be like, I should become informed and make decisions based on what's best for. I mean, there's self-interest to take into account.
Sure,
I think that's valid.
Sure.
There's also the greater good.
Yeah.
Though that's kind of a socialist ideal, but we can discuss that later. That's a whole rabbit hole.
I got you.
You know, there's a lot to consider, but really what you consider is what are your first principles. You need to know that first.
Yep.
What are your first principles? What are the non-negotiables? And then vote accordingly.
And then see what side matches with your principles. I mean, think about that. I mean, because that was one thing that I thought
know what you believe.
Yeah, man. Like, especially in the black community, I mean, the black community has very conservative principles. They do. If you actually look at the black community, very conservative principles. But we've been duped in this switch idea, and the Democrats are for you, even though they started the KKK and Jim Crow.
Well, there's that. There's this culture of just plain envy.
Yeah,
that has been fostered. You know, again by the Democrats.
I mean, it's all races. That's all whatever. But
yeah. Oh yeah, for sure. I mean, no human is free from envy.
Oh, I'm free.
I'm not saying that. No,
I have no envy, bro. No.
Liar. We're also not free from lies.
Dang it! I broke 2 commandments in one row.
No, but obviously I'm not saying that. But again, don't mistake my words. Culture of not a racial. You know,
there's a culture of envy.
Genetic anomaly or something like that.
Predisposed to envy.
Predisposition. Yeah.
So
there's a culture there being fostered.
Yep.
You know.
Just don't get tricked. Don't get tricked, guys.
It's just undeniable.
Guys, don't get tricked out there, man. Get your treats, okay? Do your due diligence, man. If you're uninformed and want to stay uninformed, there's no shame in that game. Don't go out and vote, okay? But if you're going to go out and vote, make sure that you understand that everything lines up with your principles, man. And I couldn't have said it better myself, my man. You are the freaking man, dude. It's been a good night, bro.
I think so.
Dude, we got to watch Michael Jackson before the show.
Yeah.
You have to watch me try to put my kids down, which was hilarious. You know what I mean? They haven't cried, so I think it's successful here, man. Dude, it's been a good episode, man.
I agree.
Dude, here's the deal. We got some positive things here going. We got Owen Benjamin giving us some love. That's pretty.
Thank you if you're watching.
Thank you, Owen. We appreciate your time, man, and appreciate your shout out, man. That makes a big difference. We're big fans. We love Liberal Trainer.
Leftist
fitness. We had a really big Facebook Facebook post blow up. That was pretty exciting. Man, we're kind of moving this needle, man, a little bit, just a little bit at a time, man. We're doing the Gary V way, man. Step by step, day by day.
Ooh, baby.
All right, guys.
I hate myself as much as you hate me.
No, you don't.
For that.
We love every freaking thing you do. All right, man. We love you guys. My voice is gone officially now, man. Let's have a good night, guys. We love you to death.
Don't forget to follow us.
YouTube, Instagram, Facebook, but really YouTube, man. Yes. Make sure you like, subscribe,
we need
and
to add YouTube to that graphic.
I know we do, man. YouTube. Not this. Not for with the 33-degreers, we can do this. But we love you guys. We hope you have a good night, man. Are we out?
We are out.
We're out, bro.
Peace.